What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today, you guys can see we are at the Hooded Grave Cemetery, which is actually in the middle of nowhere. Now, because it's in the middle of nowhere, makes for a great story and great urban legends. Now, this is actually a very small cemetery, as you guys can see. Only a very few amount of graves here, but the crazy thing is the urban legends behind, not necessarily the cemetery, but two of the graves that are here. Now, if you guys did take a look at the title and the thumbnail, then you would already know what we're getting at with this. But we have a grave here, and we have a grave right there, which have these cages over top of them. Now, the theory is that these are the graves of vampires. Now, it might sound a little bit crazy and unbelievable to a few people, but then there's also those of you out there that might find this fully factual. Now, the one thing I will say is, like I said, with this being kind of in the middle of nowhere, I wouldn't really toss out the idea, because it does seem like this could actually be, you know, like a small country town. A plausible theory here, considering it's so isolated, and really this is a cemetery that you're not even just going to pass by. This, like, you would have to come here to get to this location. But you can see we do have some very old stones here, which the majority of them are not even legible at this point. Even like what we have here, it says ABT on it, but I don't see any other writing. I don't know if it's something that has just kind of decayed away over time, or if, you know, all it was the ABT on it. But looking inside, you can see that there is actually another stone, but it's not exactly able to be made out. I think it says possibly John F. Thomas, possibly. I see an HN over there, so it could be John Thomas. We even have these, like, strange looking, I don't really think they're eagles, but they are some sort of like a bird just kind of sitting on top of this. Now, what people say is that this would be for vampires to actually keep them under the ground, so that way they cannot come out and walk the earth anymore. But some other theories, which may make more sense, is back in the day, you know, some people would not want to be, you know, where their body would be opened up. They didn't want to be on an operating table, or, you know, any science experiment or anything like that. And then also, like, wolves would come and dig up graves and munch on the bodies. So these hoods, so to speak, is why this is probably called Hooded Cemetery, would keep out animals such as wolves, so that way no animal, or even a grave robber, no person, would want to even attempt going into the grave, because this is more of a deterrent. And then the other thing that people say is that these are solely just for looks. However, being just for looks, I really haven't seen or heard of another cemetery that has something like this. And even some of our more popular cemeteries, like down in Philly, that have, you know, mass amount of graves, you don't see anything like this, or at least I haven't seen one there like this. So again, this kind of does fit the back country roads kind of theory on, you know, was there actually vampires here, you know, causing havoc in a small country town here. So it does sound a little bit believable, and I really wouldn't throw the idea out of the water. You guys know me, I do paranormal investigations, so I do believe in ghosts. So who's to say that, you know, a vampire isn't real? The only other thing I know about vampires is in the Steel City, Pittsburgh. In that vicinity, there's actually a crypt that's locked up and supposedly has had vampire sightings and deaths of people who have actually gone inside of the mausoleum. So there are plenty of vampire stories. Now, this one here, we can see, I see 40, looks like maybe 40 years old. Very hard to make out. We got 1851, October 27th, 1851. Kind of hard to make out the rest of that. Now, somebody did actually make a comment on my channel before. I forget exactly who it was. I think I know who it was, but I don't want to point it out because I could be wrong. But somebody did leave a comment saying if you put like a paper and like a piece of chalk, you can kind of scrub over top of the paper, and then it would leave the imprint of what is actually written, and you'd be able to read these a little bit better. But right here you can see we've got a 1850, 73 years old. Another 1805, I'm not sure what's on the ends. Another 1850s, relatively. We got an 1822 here. And, no, born 1822, died 1858. So, it seems like from what I'm noticing, most of these are deaths from the 1850s. Now, here is the other grave, which is severely overgrown and does look to have some damage to the cave, or not cave, cage. It looks like some of the wiring has been pulled at. So I don't know if that's somebody trying to actually clean this up, or if, you know, a vampire is trying to come out, or something has actually been trying to get inside. So I cannot see if there is anything like a headstone on the inside of this one. I would doubt it, considering how grown it is. But we do have a full headstone here, which says Sarah Ann, and let's see, it's June 18th, 1852, age 23, it looks like, 23 years old. So definitely did not have a long life here. So again, definitely could point out to being actual vampire activity. So like I said, guys, I don't want to toss out the idea of what this could be. I know it's definitely a little bit strange. But again, and I'm seeing a lot of Thomas and things like that. So it seems like there's a lot of... it seems like mostly everybody in here is more related. So that would even coincide and make a lot more sense, and really, you know, capture the whole vampire theory. So I will let you guys actually leave the comments down below. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you think that this one, which I believe says John, the one over that says Sarah, you guys let me know. Do you think these are actually vampire graves, or do you guys have another theory? I'm totally open to this. I'm not in any way saying that these are vampires, but I am just simply saying that I really wouldn't toss out the idea, because again, I believe in ghosts and I've seen some crazy things in my lifetime already. So definitely is something that I wouldn't toss out, and I would still consider it to be something possible. So I do want to thank everybody for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Make sure you subscribe if you enjoy content like this. We'll see you guys in the next video.
The apocalypse.